Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Bellon, welcoming you to Sacred Dreaming. It's been a while since I've posted a video. I think the last one was in May. I've been away a little bit this summer, so here we are, the end of August, and today we're going to talk about dream groups. Some years ago, I read a book called The Life We Are Given, and in that book, the author said that the best way to have a group is to invite people who like to do the same kind of thing you like to do. That will make it most effective. This is especially true in establishing a dream group. You want to invite some people who are interested in dreams, understanding their own dreams, or learning more about the dreaming process. Now, to have a dream group, I think you can start with as few as 3. 4 or 5 is a very nice number, and about 9 or 10 is the most you want in a dream group, because it's going to take about 20 minutes to 45 minutes to process each dream. So if you have a larger group, the nice thing is that you always have enough people to really work dreams every time you meet, in case some people can't be there. But you have to know that you won't get through everybody's dream any given evening or afternoon or whenever you're meeting. So if a dream group lasts between an hour and 2 hours, I think that you can process maybe between 3 or 4 dreams in each dream group meeting. So how do you go about beginning? Well, you gather your people, and then as you gather, you want to make a little covenant that everything that's going to be shared in the dream group will stay in the dream group. I encourage people to light a candle as a way of indicating that now people are in sacred space. You're in intentional covenantal space together. At that point, who's ever going to facilitate the dream group for that evening, and you can share that duty at different times, that person usually says a little prayer or reads a few words of poetry, a few lines of poetry, or some other short devotional or kind of word that allows people to enter into this sacred space. Now we're going to have to decide whose dream will be worked. In my dream group, we put names in a hat, and then we draw the name, okay? And other dream groups do it in different ways. But now you have a person who's going to share their dream. That's going to be called the dreamer. That person will be called the dreamer, and everybody else will be called the dream worker, okay? So the dreamer then reads or tells their dream very slowly to the dream workers. After that first telling or reading, the dream workers ask clarifying questions. Now, a good clarifying question might be, let's say Uncle Joe appeared in the dream, and you could say, could you give me 3 adjectives that you would use to describe Uncle Joe? That's a good clarifying question. It's better than a question like, tell me your relationship with Uncle Joe, which may or may not have anything to do with the dream, because Uncle Joe might be a symbol in the dream, not representing the relationship that they share, but representing something else that is about him. So people ask clarifying questions, and then the dreamer will read the dream again or tell the dream a second time very slowly. At this second telling, all the dream workers close their eyes and they listen to the dream as if it were their dream. They want to hear it as though they had this dream, okay? At the end of that second telling, and after the dream workers have received the dreamer then steps outside the circle, sits outside the circle, and will not participate in the unpacking of the dream. No, they're going to listen and take notes and write down things that strike them or come to them as the dream workers work the dream. Back in the circle, the dream workers begin to work the dream using the expression, in my dream, this is what it meant, or in my dream, this is what occurred to me. If it were my dream, they might say, this is how I think of that. And they may draw in associations with fairy tales, with historic figures, with places, all kinds of things that are gathered within their mental construct that then is stimulated by the dream. And in this way, this working of the dream allows all of those gathered, the dreamer and the dream workers, to enter what Carl Jung called the collective unconscious. This is a sphere of psychic energy that involves all of us. See, Jung believed that we're all interconnected, that we're all tied together in a kind of consciousness, right? But of course, each one of us only has a small access to that greater web, right? And so by working the dream together, engaging in the collective unconscious, what comes to me, for instance, might be different than what comes to you. But putting that together allows a greater breadth, depth, and width to the dream itself. And in this way, we might, in a dream circle, be able to work the dream on many levels. The personal level for the dreamer, the prophetic level, what is it pointing to? The intervention level, who's it really for? And we can do that because we are engaged together in the work of the collective unconscious. After the dream workers have finished their process, the dreamer comes back into the circle, and then it's the dreamer's turn. And the dreamer then shares how that experience was for them, what struck them, what didn't work for them. If they want, they can say what they believe the dream means to them. And then that is the end of the first round. Maybe you take a break at this time, get some desserts, or use the restroom, and then you come back and you begin the process all over again in round 2. That's your basic setup for a dream circle. I may come back and talk more about this because there are some other things that you can bring into the dream circle to strengthen it and deepen it, like using the work of the anima or the animus, or Robert Haas's 6 magic questions. So I think next month I will bring those elements to you so that we can continue this discussion about how to set up a dream circle. I hope you have a terrific day.